Jay, let me give you a team to watch on Thursday night. The San Francisco 49ers, who are scheduled to have the 13th and 31st overall selections in the first round. But keep in mind, the defending NFC World Champions don't have second, third, or fourth round picks and are not scheduled to pick again until the fifth round. So they are already fielding calls for pick 13 and for pick 31, both picks, and the idea of getting back more picks to make up for the lack of picks in the second, third, and fourth rounds. The 49ers are valuing quantity in this draft, not just quality, and so that's why they're willing to move on. And there you see John Lynch, who tweeted a short time ago his home office, which looks very much like a war room office as it would at the 49ers training complex. So there is the pulse of where the 49ers could be making trades from on Thursday night.
Looks pretty good. That's a nice setup. Hey, speaking of teams trading down, what are you hearing about the potential for the Lions or the Giants to trade out of the top five?
Jay, both teams have made it very clear that they'd like to move back in this draft. The problem is, what team wants to move up? It doesn't look like right now the Dolphins at number 5 or the Chargers at number 6 are willing to move up in the draft. And if they're not willing to move up for a quarterback like Tua, then who would be willing to come up? And that's the problem. Plus, those teams, the Lions at 3 and the Giants at 4, they don't want to go too far back. So there's a fine line to strike here and a balance between moving back, moving far enough back, getting enough compensation to make it worthwhile. And right now, it's not happening. Now, that doesn't mean it can't change in the next 72 hours when the draft starts Thursday night. But to date, there has not been a lot of action around picks 3 and 4. And as it stands right now, it looks like it'll be challenging for either one of those teams, the Lions or Giants, to move back in the draft.
Adam, our draft experts have been saying Joe Burrow is going first overall to the Bengals since last fall. I know you're never supposed to say never, but is there any chance whatsoever that he won't be the top pick?
Well, Joe, let's spell it out again. I don't see any team trading up to go get the number 1 overall pick. I don't see the Bengals willing to move on from the number 1 pick, and they're going to stand right where they are, and Joe Burrow is expected to be the number 1 pick on Thursday night, as he has been all through this process. If we go back months now, the kind of season that he had in college football made it such that the Bengals had to have him. And here's a player from Ohio whose parents still live in Ohio, whose girlfriend is from Cincinnati. It is a match that has been waiting to happen for weeks now, and that match is expected to happen on Thursday night when the Bengals are on the clock.
Finally, my friend, I saw you tweeting about it. You're a basketball fan, so I want to ask you about The Last Dance. What do you think of the first 2 episodes?
Well, I loved it, but let me just say this, Jay. You know what was the coolest part about it? My 11-year-old daughter, who's never watched Michael Jordan play, sat down to watch it. And even though she had virtual school this morning, I let her stay up to watch the entire thing, and she couldn't turn away. So the fact that somebody who was 11 years old, who had no connection to those Bulls like we did, who didn't know Michael Jordan, was mesmerized for 2 hours, tells you how effective the documentary is and will be. It was fantastic to watch. Can't wait to watch the rest of it. We'll be tuned in as a post-draft celebration next weekend for the next 2 episodes. And again, when it catches the attention of an 11-year-old girl who's got no connection to Michael Jordan or the Bulls, that tells you that people want to watch.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.